Hello, folks, and welcome to another great edition of PPR Esports. I am your host, as always, Best Teon, joined today by a guest commentator. I also have a pit lane specialist today, so we're bringing you a little something different than the usual format here for Division 1. Let me take you through everything now. We are live today from the Monza circuit in Italy. We will be covering the Italian Grand Prix for another exciting edition of Xbox Division 1 here at Pole Position Racing. Let me take you through a little bit of it right now. This is the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza, located in Monza, Italy. It's going to be 26 laps today, 11 turns, 4 to the left and 7 to the right. It's a pretty simple layout in theory, but it presents some of the most challenging corners on the calendar despite its very easy appearance. Lap record is a 121 flat set by Rubens Barrichello in the F2004 course. It's a pretty long lap around here, surprisingly, 5.7 kilometers or 3.6 miles, but don't be fooled. Lap times here should be in the 120s. Continuing on with our theme from last week, I went on the internet this week. Well, this week I bring you some more exciting news. It sounds like Formula One is finally going to get this season off to a good start. They are targeting a July start for us, and looks to me they're going to go from Europe to Asia to the Americas and then finish in the Persian Gulf. So season finale looks like we might have a doubleheader of Bahrain and Abu Dhabi. So pretty exciting stuff, to say the least. I keep my fingers crossed, obviously. Let's hope we can make it to that date. All right, folks, let's run you through the order of everything here today. Renault's still sitting on top of the standings in both categories. Chandler Stata continuing his electric form, 5 podiums in a row. Unfortunately, his teammate Nick has yet to really cobble together a race. It's trending down for this last couple of Grand Prix. Williams next up in the order. B-Dunk, unfortunately, is falling behind in the championship fight. His goal should be to get some points finishes under his belt for this next road stretch of the season. Double OT, same thing. Williams was in a good position last week to defend their constructor's position. Unfortunately, have now fallen behind the Renault team. Scuderia Toro Rosso Honda. Home race for them today. Saxman continually being the king of consistency this season, always finishing in the top 10. 5 out of the last 5, in fact. Brackish, unfortunately, he's had double DNFs, so hopefully looking to get back in the mix today. Andre Myrie and Ed on the grid today. Andre Myrie will have a quality ban, so he'll be starting from the back of the grid. Ed, on the other hand, unfortunately, been a little stale in his performances, still trying to find some rhythm here in the second third of this season, I should say. And we'll hope to see him bounce back. Sorry, McLaren Renault, Boss Cookie also will be serving a quality ban, so he'll be starting at the back next to Andre Myrie. Hopefully not alongside him for company is Run the Jewels. He's had a tough go at it so far, kind of sitting in no man's land at the back of the field. Let's hope he can bounce back today. Mercedes, we will have a driver filling in for Sparky today, one of the reserves. Jay Lee will be starting for them, though. Let's hope to see them both get back in the fight. Sparky had a big finish last week, actually coming P4 at Spa, so very good for him. Red Bull Racing Honda, neither of these drivers will be competing today, actually. Sorry, folks, this graphic is incorrect, but these are the 2 full times usually. Cap, unfortunately, got sent off the track at Spa, so he'll probably want a better go at it at Singapore. Delirious driving, not really anywhere this season. Let's hope to see him bounce back. King Kurt Kaspeda still sitting at the back of the pack. Just Ferrari woes as of late, nothing really going their way. Sometimes it's skill, most of the time it's usually luck, though. Haas, on the other hand, have come storming into the season. Hoopalicious now sitting P8, quickly becoming America's sweetheart, with Alphanesis close behind in the second seat. He'll look to be getting on the board today. Here's your championship standing, folks. Getting a little stretched out at the top, but the midfield battle is still hot. Keep an eye on that today, folks. Anyone between among Ginger all the way down to Brackish. Keep an eye on that. Back of the pack right here. Still pretty stationary, though. Nothing really coming through there yet. Constructors Championship. Williams will be looking to get back on form today and close that gap to Renault. Behind them is the Toro Rosso team, who's been very consistent all year, but hasn't really closed the gap. Looking down the rest of the field, Rich Energy finally on the board, 21 points, only 7 separating them between their supplier team, Ferrari. But there you have it, folks. That's enough of the pregame show. I'd like to introduce my guest commentator for today, Groggy Oregano. How are you doing today, my man?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for letting me be in the booth for tonight.
Yes, we are very happy to have you. What are your thoughts for qualifying here at Monza today? Do you expect to see any kind of witchcraft maybe with the slipstream, teams coordinating those kinds of moves on track?
Yes and no, because you want to get the slipstream, but at the same time, you don't want to cause an accident during qualifying. So expect a mixed bag.
Excellent. We'll keep an eye out for that as well. Also joining me today is Sloppy McFloppy. Sloppy, how are you doing today, my man?
Doing great today.
Great. So Sloppy is going to be our pit lane specialist. He'll be watching things on a time delay. Unfortunately, he does not have an Xbox, but he'll be here to give us some good analysis. He's the author of our brand new Hot Lap series. So we are very happy to have him with us today. Live from the pit lane now. We'll be there in just a moment. Just trying to get everything set up here on OBS, folks. Let me go ahead and do this, and this. All right, folks. There we go. We are live from the pit lane now. A couple drivers getting out. Oh, sorry. Looks like Sparky will be filling in. Sorry. Oh, Sparky will be making it, so there will be no subs in the Mercedes. Let's go ahead and turn this up just a bit, folks. What's the strat here today, fellas? Groggy, what did your research turn up for us?
It's a one-stop strategy. Softs to mediums is the fastest strategy, but softs to hards is only about 3 or 4 seconds slower. So if you want to go for a more conservative one-stop, that's the way to go.
You got it. What do you think, soft medium then?
Soft medium is the best strategy. Two-stop is no-go. If you do a two-stop, you're just throwing away time.
Would you maybe justify a two-stop in the event of a safety car, though?
Yes, it depends on the situation. Like if it goes down to late in this race, I would definitely pit for fresh tires, but not early in the race.
Good to know. Good to know. Most of our drivers are going out here on the soft. No surprise with that. We got a couple cars in the pit lane there, it would seem. No one really going out. But, fellas, I'm going to take us on a onboard of Ed Toronja's flying lap here. Coming down the pit straight through Parabolica. Is going to hit that DRS nice and wide open. Right about now, good. Across the start-finish line, heading towards turn one. This is a very difficult braking zone, to say the least. Looking to the left, you're going to see that 100, 50, 100, braking right before 50, hard on the brakes, turning in. Good to take just enough of that inside curb and get a good exit through there. Up to second, third, fourth. Now it's down to the Curva Grande before the the second hard braking zone on the lap before the Lesmos. Let's see how late Ed will decide to brake. 150 board, 100. Lifting off right about before the 50. No surprise, very smooth through there. This Force India is looking planted, Racing Point, folks, into Lesmo 1. Taking a bit of a shallow line, but a good, very clean run, not wanting to invalidate his lap and run into the grass. Again through Lesmo 2, looking tidy now. It's going to be a nice long run up to Ascari. Let's see how brave the Racing Point driver will be. Recommended gear to take this in is going to be fourth. Bit of a lift off on the brakes there. He's going to keep it in fifth, it would seem, looking for the traction. Ooh, unfortunately, he's ridden that inside curve just a touch too much and almost lost it on the exit. We got a Renault spun out. Fellas, Groggy, can you see who's on a flyer right now?
Yes, I can. BR Sparky, Ginger Horizon, Ed Trog, the person just invalidated. Funky Cactus, Chandler Seta, Norville F1, PPR Double T, King Kirk, JB Bozen, Mr. Brimer, B-Dunk, and Boars Bones. Excuse me for names I've missaid.
It's all right. You're, hey, man, we're all taking things one thing at a time today. No worries. It's going to be a good race no matter what. On board with Ginger Horizon, though, right now, he is flying. He already had a purple Sector 1, and there's a car in front giving a bit of a toe now into Ascari. I'm sure he won't mind that. And that's going to be second purple Sector, Sector 2 for him. The Alfa Romeo driver is flying today. Let's see now. He's lifted off, it would seem, after Ascari, and he was on for pole. Interesting choice by the driver there. There's Borat going to go ahead. He's filling in for, I believe it's Cap today, and then Funky Cactus, who's one of my fellow D4 drivers out here today, strutting his stuff with the no assist crowd. So love to see our lower divisions getting some representation, as it were. Got Hoop here. Looks like he's on a flying lap right now. Hoopalicious really being one of the surprises of the second half of the season here. A bit of a late entry into our Division 1, but he has strutted his stuff well, finishing on the podium pretty frequently. Same with Ginger Horizon, also another late entry to the season, folks. Sloppy, give us some quick tips about driving around Monza. Are you maybe erring on the side of caution through corners? Should you be more aggressive? What are some maybe things some viewers at home can pick up, or some insights they might be able to pick up about driving at this track?
I think it depends a lot on your experience around this track, right? There's only 11 corners, so you might not think it's easy to mess up, but each one can catch you out. You're going to see all the drivers likely chose the soft category of tire, so they'll be running 3 to 4 soft stints. So at the start, you're going to see them avoiding the curbs, trying to set a banker lap, but near the end, you're going to see them trying to take as much advantage of the track as they can to set a lap that they can try to get pole with.
What would you say is going to be the most problem area for the drivers today? Is it going to be getting through a Scari maybe cleanly, or is it going to be taking the Parabolica without invalidating by running too wide? What do you think?
Those are both some difficult corners, but I think the turn 4-5 complex is what's going to catch the most drivers out. It's really easy to cut both corners there. And to maximize time, you got to really abuse the curbs through there. So I think we're going to see a lot of drivers invalidate through there.
We'll keep an eye out for that, certainly. And looks like we've got both the Renault boys going out trying to get a little...
Sorry to interrupt. Aaron Brackers went off after a Scari, and Barrow Sparky has a 5-place grid penalty for making a collision with someone.
Interesting. So Sparky taking a 5-place grid penalty to start us off. That is very... that will shake things up, surely. He'll have to fight his way through the field then. Looks like Chandler and Not Y'all trying to get a little toe action going here. Chandler going ahead and invalidating right out the gate, just trying to give his teammate maybe a little more space ahead of him. Let's see, we got Boss Cookie getting an outlap on those hard compound tires. Very curiously, maybe a little reconnaissance there for the McLaren driver. Did Andre Myrie crash out, or was that a?
He retired right away from the session.
That's right, because he's got the quali ban.
Yeah.
I forgot. And Boss Cookie also on that hard tire, just trying to cruise around. That's interesting, though. He's not supposed to be out there, but there he is.
I don't blame him. What I normally do is go on the hards for a banker, mediums, and then if I want to, softs. I don't blame him.
You might as well use him or lose him. Isn't that the case?
You may as well.
They might be trying to reverse strategy as well, starting on the mediums. Using the softs at the end will really increase your pace at the end when everyone else is on worn medium. So maybe some overtakes at the end of the race to spice it up a little bit.
That is a great point, Sloppy. We'll keep an eye out for that as well. In fact, we've already had quite a few of these D1 races go up to the wire, down to the wire, pardon me. We had, even last week at Spa, a battle for first place that pretty much went down to the very end in changeable conditions, creating some fascinating overtaking. Something that we love to see. Obviously, for Monza, I would like to see it be a dry race. These cars really like to open the taps when you're on this track. I would not like to see anyone braking early. On board now with Saxman. He's setting a couple of flyers here. Boss Cookie still putzing around on the hards. We've got Ed on an outlap. We've got Funky Cactus on an outlap. Let's ride along with him. Home team, ERS Ham Newton in the Ferrari today. He is filling in for, I believe it's Caspita. He's one of our quick drivers, ERS, so we'd love to see him get in the mix at the top. On board now, though, with Funky Cactus. Let's see what he's got for us, folks. Down that pit straight, got the car up into 8th gear. Again, getting the DRS open right about there. Good. It's hanging to the left side here. Running past the tower there, looking to the left. He's looking for that braking point carefully. Lay it on the brakes. You can hear that engine over revving. Back end getting a little slidey there, but he's done well to keep it in one shape. Not backing off the lap at all. Up into 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th gear now, running down the Curva Grande. Not really too much to report here. It's a pretty simple turn. Boss Cookie going to retire from the session. There you have it. Purple Sector 1 for Funky Cactus into the first chicane. Back end sliding all over. Ooh, and he's in the gravel, folks. There you have it. First overcook of the day. Those poached eggs were going to come out a little hard-boiled. Oh, that's the Mercedes running right into him. Not Jay Lee. That looks to me.
Oh, Funky Cactus and BR Sparky somehow got together in chicane number 1.
Yes, they did. They did. The Red Bull was actually off into the gravel, and instead of rejoining unsafely, he stayed there, which was the smart move. But unfortunately, the Mercedes driver got a little out of shape and, ran right into him. He'll have to scupper back to the pits very quickly. But one of our contenders now on their flyer, Ginger Horizon, been one of the big names for us to watch. He's had a lot of strong races this season. Now let's see how he goes on his flyer. Taking that first, turns 1 and 2 beautifully through there, getting the traction down now, flying to the Curva Grande. Groggy, Sloppy, what's your guys' realistic ceiling at this track? How do you feel these times are compared to your own?
Way faster because I'm a D4 and Italy's one of my worst tracks, so probably like a 2 seconds, 3 seconds faster.
How about
More
you,
like
Sloppy?
2.
I'd have to check what I do around here, but I think it's low 18s, high 17s if we get some slipstream from some teammates. So, this pace is pretty good. I think console's a little slower than PC with the physics they have, but you can definitely really max out your potential on this track.
See, that's interesting. I heard the opposite actually from someone that console's supposed to be faster. I have no idea if that's true or not.
Yeah, I haven't
Ginger Horizon gets loose out the Scary. Sorry to interrupt. He got really loose.
Oh yeah, we had the onboard of him, but looks like he's caught it, and now he'll be starting his flyer, folks. I apologize if I was getting ahead of myself earlier. Will he go back into the pits? Yes, he will. That will do it. Alpha Nesis invalidating his lap. Curiously, Ed, Funky Cactus had that collision, but Ham Newton just getting on his outlap now, it would seem. Maybe these guys waiting for the track to ramp up or just to get some clear air.
I think they're going to wait about 2 more minutes of go out around maybe 3 or 4 minutes to go for their final run because they're in that stage of the session. They have to pick and choose.
Yeah, I was going to say you really do have to kind of pick when you want to get that last crucial flyer, and luckily a lap around here isn't too much to get all bent out of shape about. Excuse me, folks. Got some cars up ahead, just a little bit of traffic. That's Jay Lee on the right. It's going to be Reimer to the right. Figures we should stay on board with at least one of the Ferraris today, folks. Let's see. We already got King Kirk sitting P9. Let's see if his teammate Ham Newton's got a good answer for that now. Nothing quite like a red car at Monza, wouldn't you boys say?
For sure.
Hey. Ferrari has 20 wins here, so they have a lot.
What did you guys watch the replay of Monza a couple weeks ago?
No, I haven't. I watched the 2012 Brazilian Grand Prix though.
That was Vettel taking his title, correct?
Correct.
In the wet after spinning. Really, really great race.
Wasn't that a little ironic considering the reputation he has now?
For sure.
It is ironic.
Speaking of Ferraris at Monza, ERS Ham Newton now flying into the Lesmo 2, looking very tidy through there. Now he's got the run down to Ascari. Little traffic ahead, looks to be one of the Haas cars. Perhaps that looks like Hoopalicious, I believe, on his outlap. Curiously, he has not tried to pull to the side. He's kind of given Ham Newton a bit of an advantage there with that extra toe. Ooh, but Ham has invalidated through Ascari. That will tank that lap, folks. Now it looks like these two drivers will be sizing one another up heading into Parabolica. Let's go now with Hoop. Getting ready. Time to beat, folks, is going to be a 1:18.6. 1:18.6. Your starting order at the moment, folks. Chandler Seda P1, Hoopalicious P2, Borat Bones P3, and Ginger Horizon P4. Those are your first 2 rows. Behind them, we're going to have Alphanesis, BRL Sparky, B-Dunk, Not Y'all, ARL Brackish, and King Kirk. In the Choose Your Own Adventure category at the moment, we've got Double OT, Jay Lee, Reimer, Saxman, Run the Jewels, Boss Cookie, Ed, Funky Cactus, Ham Newton, and of course bringing up the rear is Andre Myrie, and Boss will be swapped to the back once the session is over. Purple first sector there for the Haas driver of Hoopalicious, now flying into the Lesmo turns. Let's see how he does. Taking that turn well, a little bit of a short shift there to get the traction down now into Lesmo 2. Let's see how he's doing. Very good exit there, folks, using all that exit curb to his advantage. Into Ascari now, getting that Haas nice and turned up. Let's see which gear he takes this in. Purple sector 2 now, keeping it in 5th. Tidy through there, just keeping enough of those 2 wheels on the track to get through there without an invalidation. Very good to the Haas driver now, heading down to Parabolica. Let's see. You can kind of swing around here. Let's see, turning right, starting shallow, bit of a double apex turn, taking it wide, and back to the inside there. Nicely done. cutting a little bit of that pit entrance to the start-finish line, and that's going to be a 1:18.6. 1:18.6. Him and Chandler only separated by about 0.3, folks. It is airtight at the front of the pack here.
300s.
300s, pardon me. Fellas, where are you going to find 300s on track? I couldn't even begin to think of where that might be.
Clean up little mistakes. In time trial, I've had to do those little mistakes. I think he can do it.
Yeah, you're going to want to try to short shift out of corners to save on the tire temp so you can be a little bit faster at the end of the lap. So they're going to want to try to adjust maybe their shifting technique out of corners, take a little bit more apex. So they're going to try to find anything they can to break that gap.
You know,
Also, their fuel load. Their fuel load is going to go down. Sorry.
oh no, you don't have to apologize, man. We're not all in the same room with one another. It's gonna happen. We're gonna talk over each other. Sloppy, I was actually gonna say I read a very fascinating Reddit post today on r/Formula One about Michael Schumacher being one of the first guys to institute a digital speedo with rev counter, so he could figure out exactly what gears he could take every corner in and out of. Apparently, it was a pretty revolutionary concept back then, and it's now become a bit of an industry standard for all these guys with their multifunction displays on their steering wheels.
Yep, for sure. It's all about finding the edge, what gear you can take. You want to find the lowest gear you can take a corner in for most rotation, but you want to shift up early out of the corner for traction, so it's all about trying to find the limit to find the pace.
Speaking of finding the limit now, the other Haas car of Alphanesis, oof, big snap of oversteer there, sliding through the Parabolica. And he's lifted off. That will do it for that. Not y'all on the flyer right now for Renault. Got a lot of cars at outlaps here trying to get it in with only a little bit of time left. Let's see, folks. Chandler Seda on his outlap right now. Curious to see if he can even best his time of a 1:18.6. 1:18.6. That is a very fast time. My goodness. Just for perspective, folks, a race load of fuel puts you down with Reimer. So these guys are above and beyond the race lap record as it stands, and these cars are flying at the moment. What is your guys' prescription? Groggy, if you get damage, lap one here does tend to be pretty chaotic. Do you go onto the medium tire, or do you maybe switch onto the hard and hope to go a longer distance?
Go to the hards. I think you can make it to the end in this race on a set of hards, but it will be a long grind. Babe Dunk's retired from the session in the pits.
In the pits. Okay, good. No on track crashes. All right. On board now with our championship leader, folks. One last time today. Let's tell you how this is going to go. Through Parabolica now. Taking a nice, easy line through there. Taking a line to the left, it would seem, instead of the right, which has been the popular line today with most of our drivers. Flying into turn one. Let's see where the banana boat's going to put on the brakes. Right there, folks. Turning in through turn two, keeping that car nice and tidy now. It's the long run down to the Curva Grande. Most of these cars will be running damn near, 1-2 wings, 2-2 wings? What do you think?
1-3, I think is what I run. I would say 1-3, 1-4, 1-2.
Maybe 1-3 if you're a guy who likes to stomp on the accelerator.
Yeah, or if you want some... Or if you want some more downforce of the corners to turn the car.
Yeah, get that back end around, as it were. A little bit of traffic ahead at Ascari, though. Chandler will hopefully negotiate it fine, taking it clean through there, keeping just enough rubber on the track to not invalidate. His car's pulling to the left to avoid any trouble. Ginger's across the line. His time set 1:19. Not y'all set 1:19. King Kirk also 1:19, folks. Margins are razor thin here. This is Monza. Through Parabolica now, that double apex right-hander. In, to the out, to the end. Let's see how much he cuts that pit lane entrance. Good. Taking a very good line through there. Yeah, and that's going to be a new fastest lap, it would seem. 1:18.366. 1:18.366. That is the fastest time of the session, folks. That will seal pole position. The rest of your order: Hoopalicious, B Dunk, Borat, Ginger, Ham Newton. Sparky just pipping Ham Newton right there at the finish. Alphanesis, Ed, Not Y'all, Saxman, Double OT, King Kirk, Funky Cactus, Brackish, Jay Lee, Reimer. Bringing up the rear is going to be Jules, Cookie, and Andre Myrie. Excellent qualifying session, folks. Certainly much cleaner than that of the actual Formula One cars. What is your guys' favorite memory at this track?
I have a bad memory here in league racing. I got a race ban after this race.
Oof, sorry to hear that, Grosjean.
In 2018. Yeah, but it was coming to me.
How about
And
you, Sloppy?
You know,
Quick
sometimes you cook it a little in too hard in the turn one, you lose a front wing, so you're in the back, but you get lucky with the safety car, and you're able to finish on the podium. Those are some good memories of this track, fighting back.
So casual.
Yeah.
So casual. What a confident guy, folks. All right, we're going to load into the qualifying order one more time, folks. Here we are. Chandler Seda, Hoopalicious, B-Dunk, Borat, Bones, Ginger Horizon. Sparky's going to be served a 5-place grid penalty once this starts. Ham, Newton, Alphanesis, Ed, Not Y'all. Those are your points paying positions right now. King Kirk also going to be handed a 5-place grid penalty. Then the Choose Your Own Adventure category, we've got Saxman, Double OT, Kirk, Cactus, Brackish, Jay Lee, Reimer, Run the Jewels, Boss Cookie, and at the back, it's going to be Andre Myrie. 10 seconds to go, folks. We're going to take a brief break, and we'll be back very shortly. All right, folks, there we have it, a cloudy Monza circuit from the pit lane. Maybe there could be some rain in the forecast later. We'll just have to stay tuned. What do you guys think? Changeable conditions? We might see some big winners and some big losers trying to gamble on strategy. Are you guys more the type to run into the pits early, or are you going to wait until they absolutely have to get off the slicks?
I'm just gonna wait till my engineer tells me to go into the pits when it says Jeff said boxes lap, boxes lap.
I like to do the same. If it does rain near the end of the race, you're going to see some people running the softs caught out. They might try to run a little bit longer on them and might run into a puncture trying to make it to the wet period if it does happen.
Good to know. Good to know. All right, folks, formation lap time. These drivers will be taking a few minutes to get their cars nice and warmed up before getting this race underway. But Sloppy, Groggy, have you seen the exciting news? Formula One has announced a contingency plan to get the season started by, it would seem, July 4th of all dates. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Think it's going to happen? Groggy, let's start with you.
I think it will happen by that point, because by then everything should be wholly back to normal by then. So it needs to come sooner or later. So I think it's a good decision.
Yeah, I certainly think the same thing. I really hope they get it back on track. Even with an adapted schedule, we might not get every race that we want, but as long as we get to see some action out on track, can't complain.
Certainly, certainly. And, of course, the FIA rule is they only need to run 8 Grand Prix to crown a champion. So no matter who wins this year, they're always going to have the asterisks. And for a lot of people, that is going to be, legacy defining. Think of a guy like Verstappen. What if he wins it this year and it doesn't? People maybe don't view it with the same weight as a 21 race season, or even Hamilton trying to tie Schumacher. Will people really give him the credit if it was a shortened season? Interesting questions that I don't quite have the answers to yet. What do you guys think? Who would be the biggest? Who would be your ideal champion for this year for a shortened season?
I would think for Verstappen, if Red Bull can get it together, but safe bets Hamilton.
Bets on Hamilton. What about you, Sloppy?
Yeah, safe bet's Hamilton, but I wouldn't mind seeing Bottas. We saw him at the beginning of last season really turn up the wick a little bit, so I wouldn't be surprised if we only had 8 races that he could keep the consistency up at the start and maybe beat Hamilton to it.
Yeah, Valtteri's got that new boo, too. Might help him refocus.
You never know.
And going into the race, Saxman, Double T's, AR Brackish, Jay Brown, Runner Jules, King Cook, and Boss are starting on the medium tire. Everyone else on softs.
Medium tire. Curious. So it not quite the strategy mix-up we had maybe expected, not expected. We'll have to see, folks. Looks like, though, our top 9 runners are going to be on identical strategies, so one of those may look to get some kind of undercut, perhaps. We'll have to keep an eye later in the race. But for now, let's go to the broadcast cams as we get this one underway, folks. Live from the Monza circuit, this is Pole Position Racing, Xbox Division 1, the Italian Grand Prix, before our next summer break here. And that's lights out. We're underway, folks, and everyone's getting away very cleanly. Chandler Sadie getting a good getaway there. B-Dunk now jumping up in front of Hoopalicious. B-Dunk going to challenge Chandler Sadie into turn 1. Let's see. Chandler's going to defend that inside position. He's done well. There's contact everywhere, folks. Back of the pack. There's carbon fiber flying up. We're 3 wide through the chicane, but looks like everyone's come off just about in one piece now. The long run down to the Curva Grande. That's Alpha Nisus and Borat Bones going at it wheel to wheel now into the chicane. Let's see. Borat's going to defend the inside line. Where's that Haas car going to go? Late on the brakes? No, he's going to go rank and file and get just right in. Single file through there, folks. Oh, that's an Alfa Romeo getting wide. Ginger Horizon missing the chicane completely into the Lesmos now. Everyone keeping it tidy. That's not y'all almost going side to side with the Ferrari through there. Ooh, not ERS Ham Newton really looking to get past that Renault car, but he's going achingly slow, and Sparky's starting to catch him now. The front of the pack.
5-second time penalty towards Ginger Horizon.
Ginger Horizon, 5-second time penalty. There you have it, folks. That will cost him dearly later in the race. Hopefully he can serve that at his next pit stop, but so far so good. I don't see too many front wings
Neon
missing.
F1 retired.
Ooh, not y'all's.
And safety car has come out.
Yikes. Yeah, he's off to the left there. I can see him on track. Safety car, folks. Safety car. Let's see if any of our drivers will be ducking into the pits.
Boss Cook is pitting because he has damage on the wing. Of note.
Oh, yeah, he's missing the entire end plate there. Let's see. Anyone else really to report? Not that I can see.
No, B-Dunk in the pits, Boner in the pits, AJ Trog in the pits. Who else is in? Also, AR Brackish, Boss Cookie is in the pits. So 5 guys in the pits.
Yeah, more importantly, look what's just happened. If this is reminiscent of the real Italian Grand Prix at all, it's Chandler Sada. He's going to be up there by himself, and now he's got no one to help him out. Hoop and Alpha Nisus will have free reign to hunt him down in the first portion of this race. Very, very reminiscent of a certain 2 Mercedes and 1 Ferrari driver last year.
B-Duck and AR Brackish pitted for the hard tires, so I think they're going to go to the end of the race and try to not stop.
Certainly, certainly. Floppy, has your stream caught up to us yet?
Yeah, just about. The safety cars going through turn 4 and 5.
So right now, talking strategy, we've got 1, 2, 3 cars in the top 10 running those mediums, and everyone else is on the softs. Where do you see the medium runners pitting? It's a 27-lap race. Didn't they come in around maybe like lap 18, 19, or maybe they try to go a little longer than that?
So the safety car changes things a little bit because tire wear behind the safety car is almost non-existent compared to regular race running. So you normally try to pit around lap 17 if they were running the mediums normally. So we're going to see them try to come in 18, 19, maybe get an overcut at lap 20 to run the softs really well at the end of the race.
That would be a very tasty strategy indeed. Despite the clouds, though, do either of you guys have the YouTube chat open to see if anyone's given us the weather forecast?
No, I don't have Discord open. Also, Bones has a 10-second time penalty given to him for exceeding track limits.
Ooh, 10 seconds. That is not great. That will likely be pretty much race over for the Red Bull driver unless he can pull out a 10-second gap on some people. Safety cars aren't your friend in that instance. Not y'all's left the session, no surprise. Safety car is still out, folks. In the meantime, I'm going to take a quick, brief moment to let you all know about the rest of Pole Position Racing's programming. We have racing 5 days a week now. We have racing on Mondays with our PC Division 1. We have racing Tuesdays with our Xbox Divisions 1, 2, and 3. Wednesdays is PC Division 2, which I'll actually be filling in for tomorrow, so check back in. You can hear my silky smooth voice one more time if you really want. Thursdays, we're going to be doing our PlayStation Division. We're doing an exhibition for them. If you're interested in joining that, if you're listening to this and you're thinking to yourself, gee, I'm a PlayStation 4 player and I've got F1 2019, let us know, because we are eagerly trying to recruit as many people as we can. In the meantime, we'll be doing exhibition races, so we won't be counting those 4 championship points. Fridays is going to be Division 4. That's where I race alongside Groggy Oregano, who's in the booth with me tonight. He and I are actually tied in the constructors, so maybe look for a good little midfield battle on your Friday night.
They will.
Besides that, we've got our weekend exhibitions. Check us out, folks, PPResports.com. Link's going to be in the description. There's also a link to our Discord server there if you're interested in joining us. I myself have been with the league for a few months. Groggy's been just about the same.
Since the beginning of this season, and I actually raced for one race last season in Singapore. So I've been here for a bit of time.
Well, we'll have Singapore next week, and we'll be able to talk all about the wonderful
10-second time penalty, Ed Troger, and the safety cars coming in. Sorry.
Wow,
no
talk about
interruption.
insult to injury. Feel for the racing point driver at the back there. Maybe they're just skipping track limits, just hoping to make up some time. Of course, folks, there is no overtaking until the timing line. Let's see what the getaway is for Chandler, and he's gone. Green flag, so we're back underway at Monza, flying down into turn 1. Let's see, we've got Chandler leading a Hoop. Hoop, though, is going to try to go up the inside. Alphanese is hot on the rear. Let's see what line they will take through there. Chandler's just going to cover off the Haas. Hoopalicious staying close on his tail, but now they're wheel-to-wheel now, almost looking for the traction. Hoop struggling to get those tires on. Oh, that's...
Oh, someone in the gravel.
That is a Haas car. Alphanesis has ended up in the gravel. Not sure what happened there.
With damage. He has damage.
That will end his race very early. Saxman, though, double OT flying into the chicane. Double OT really close to the back of that Toro Rosso. Almost overcooked it, and he will have to pull out of that move. Funky Cactus, though, on the back of double OT, trying to catch out to the front of this pack now. He's on those soft match tires. He will need to get by these 2 medium runners if he wants to make
Yellow
up
flag.
any time. We got yellow flags. Is that Jaylee
That's-
Bowens?
Yeah, he is. And also, going to the restart, going out, is it Mirabeau? Right, Jules was off the track as well.
Yeah, restart. You're going to be talking turn 1, I believe. Or do you mean the Curva Grande?
Curva Grande. Excuse me.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, unfortunately, it's like Jules has gotten all bent out of shape there, and he is bringing up the rear at the moment. He probably will not want to pit if he wants to have any shot later in this race. But back at the front now, Hoopalicious back hot on Chandler. Chandler moving very defensively to the inside, sticking to the right there. Hoop's just going to have to go to the left now. Who's going to be later on the brakes? Both drivers going at about the same time. Let's see if Hoop can get that car around. No, it's just not going to be enough room. The Haas is going to have to pull out of that move. But lo and behold, look who snuck their way up into the podium positions. That's ERS Ham Newton in the Ferrari now trying to get around the outside of the Curva Grande. Hoopalicious sticking to the right side. Chandler going a little slow. He's seeing 2 cars in his mirrors now. He's got to be thinking to himself, how the hell am I going to get out of this one alive? Hoop staying just in front of the Ferrari. Ham Newton there going to pull to the right into the Lesmos. It's not going to be happening, folks. You'll have to think about it later. But now Sparky's in the mix. We've got ourselves a 4-way battle at the front of the pack now. Groggy, how are things looking down in the midfield? What do you have to report?
B-Dunk has overtaken King Kirk. King Kirk did go a little bit off track at turn 1, but it's all good. B-Dunk's already up to 10th, and he's in the catbird seat. He's on the hard tires and can make it to the end of this race. Speaking of hard tire runs, Afnis did pit to get his wing chance, and it's on the hards right now.
That's a great strategy call by him. That may pay dividends later now. Back with the front of our pack, though. It's Ham on Hoop, on Chandler, on Sparky, on Blitzen, on Donner, on Rudolph. Down through the parabolica, pardon me. Chandler's going to run just a touch wide there, but that's good. He's got the great launch through there. Just trying to build up a bit of a gap to the cars at the back. New fastest lap, 1:23.6, folks. Hoop falling down 7/10 behind, but the Ferrari of Ham Newton is close with Sparky hot on the tail. Ginger Horizon setting the new fastest lap right there, and DRS is going to be enabled, so we'll start to see.
King Kirk in the pits.
King Kirk into the pits, you say. Into the pits, I believe he'll be doing a wing
for
change
a wing
then?
chance with going on stop, so he's committed to a 2-stop strategy.
Yeah, no doubt. That's a very curious strategy call to do the tire change. Ooh! Hoop completely missed the chicane there, and he's lost all of his momentum, and now Ham Newton's going to be having a look at attacking him here into the next DRS zone coming up on the run to Ascari. Sparky will be right on his tail too now. Let's ride on board with him. DRS is going to be open now. Ham Newton's closing that gap. Hoop's going to have the DRS assistance here too, so they will pretty much hold station into Ascari now. Let's see, everyone's going to keep it clean through there. Yes, they will. Oh, but Ham is spun!
Oh.
A Ferrari spun at Ascari! Oh my goodness.
Oh my. Don't go
Do
into
not
traffic.
pull back onto the
Rebel
circuit.
off the track. Rebel on the gravel.
Oh my goodness, folks. I have jinxed the Maranello team yet again. This time it wasn't King Kirk, it was Ham Newton. Like I said, folks, nothing is going their way. And when it rains, well, it truly pours in Italy. Another rough day for the Tifosi here at home turf. But back at the front now, in the French mark, it's Chandler Seda being pursued relentlessly by Hoopalicious in that Haas. Groggy, can you do me a favor and pull up Race Director and let me know if Hoopalicious has any time penalties?
Yes, I can. He has no penalties. Chandler Seta has no penalties as well.
Excellent.
So far into the... B-Duck he's moving up the field. He's already up to 9th, and he's trying to overtake the Red Bull. He's coming up there.
Yeah, B-Dunk definitely knowing his championship defense is in jeopardy now. He will be entering the danger zone for catching back up to Chandler, as Chandler has put in 4 wins of the last 5 races. The Renault driver really turning it on in the second half, though. Ooh, it's going to be close. Hoopalicious was creeping up to the back of that Renault now through Ascari. Let's see who's going to get the cleaner run. Chandler, oh, he's going to run very wide, and that's Hoop up the inside of him now. It's going to be a drag race down to the Parabolica. I think the Haas car might have just gotten in front. Chandler's going to get back in the slipstream now. He's going to have a look up the inside here. Ooh, no, he won't. He'll think better of that. He'd have to be alongside to make that move stick. Bad run through Ascari in clear air. Very rare mistake by the world record holder. That will put him on the back foot, but he's got the DRS coming back at Hoop. Hoop's going to stick to the right side here. Ooh, he's going to defend to the left, but he's faked it. He's giving him the dummy. That's the Renault trying to pull in front, and I think he has. Yes, he is back in front, folks. Chandler Seda quickly resolving his earlier mistake, and he's back into P1. Sparky loving this battle. He'll be thinking to himself, I might get in on the action now.
But, you know, Hoop he was not using any RS on the main straight, so he was just saving his battery because he knew Chandler Seta was going to get in his slipstream.
Very, very good observation, Groggy. I didn't even think of that myself. So busy trying to choke on my own air, my oxygen supply, screaming to narrate these moves.
Ed Torja and Funky Cactus are having a little bit battle. Ed Torja just got around Funky Cactus in the second chicane.
We got a nice little battle forming too here. Borat, double OT, everyone going at it. Double OT running very wide there. That
Mr. Reimer, Mr. Bone, and yeah, the 6th through 8th are battling it hard.
Let's see now into Ascari. Reimer taking it well. Same with the Red Bull. Careful not to follow too closely through there, but Reimer's getting a very poor run. Borat's going to say thank you very much, and he's going to get alongside and pull in front of that Alpha. Yep, Alpha's just going to slot back in. But now, ooh, Boss Cookie and double OT. Ooh, a little bit of contact there maybe from Reimer and Borat. Ooh, a lot of oversteer there for double OT. He's almost pushed Boss Cookie off of the track, and that is going to be Ginger Horizon. Sorry, Reimer into the pits. Early stop. Boss Cookie defending for his life. It's a toothpaste car mugging right now into turn 1. Let's see where they decide to break. Everyone getting through there nice and clean. Bit of a lockup for double OT, but he is playing tail gunner for his teammate as B-Dunk is just trying to chase down that McLaren of Boss Cookie. Hoopalicious still within a second of Chandler Seda, looking down the rest of the field. Just about the same. Brackish trying to close up on Funky Cactus, and they are going to be chasing down that racing point of Ed Torona. Ooh, Borat's going to be served a time penalty there, folks.
That's another thing that will come down. It's time penalties. It's always buying some people with positions lost or gained. I myself have had that happen to me before.
Yeah, time penalties in F1 2019 are always an issue, though. Back on board with Hoopalicious. Looks like he's got that battery nice and turned up. He's going to have another go at the Renault here now. Chandler not getting a great run through Ascari. Still keeping that battery in 0%. Let's pull up his telemetry, folks, and see when he will unleash the power of that Ferrari power. Pit straight time. He's got it turned up to 2, up to 3. Chandler's, ooh, he's into the pits. Chandler looking for the undercut. Hoopalicious will have to set a stonking time here to not let the undercut come into effect. But Chandler, on the other hand, will come out into a very busy track. Sparky also into the pits.
Yeah. It's same time it's risky here because the slipstream you can gain time to stay in the slipstream, so you may want to do the overcut in a way.
That's a great point. Let's see now. Chandler's going to come out in P13. Sparky coming out in P14. Funky Cactus going to come out in P15. I would estimate that Hoop will try. Ooh, yeah, he's wide through there. Those tires are spent. Bono, get the pit crew out. It's time for a pit stop, I think, for the Haas driver. Behind him, though, Borat and Boss Cookie still going at it. You see the cars with the bad tires kind of sliding through the Lesmos, not really getting the downforce they need. A bit like a go-kart track in that sense, isn't it?
Exactly. Now, B-Dunk will be the leader once these top 5 pit. He will be the leader.
And his job will be to pull out some form of a gap.
He'll have about, I say, about 10 to 15 second lead at the moment. Eros Hamilton's got around, and Reimer.
And it looks like Hoopalicious has opted to stay out again, folks. He will not go into the pits. Borat will get around the outside of Ginger as Ginger dives into the pits. Saxman going to be sitting P2 now. Those medium runners will have about 8 laps before they got to start worrying about the guys who started on the softs. Let's see, Saxman getting through there nicely. Borat taking another time penalty. I think he's up to about 16 seconds at this point. So disregard him, I think, for the time being.
Ginger Eisen had to serve a 5-second time penalty in the pits.
Ooh, that has cost him. He has dropped down to P13. But B-Dunk on the charge right now. In that Williams, looking very pacey. I think he might be our dark horse contender for a podium today. I hope I'm not speaking too soon, but I'd like to see him get back in the mix.
I think a win, honestly. He could probably win this race.
Even with the blistering pace of Chandler?
Yeah, I think strategy will prevail. Doubles almost lost it off the second last mile, but he saves it. Still keep going.
You saw Chandler come out into a bit of traffic there, so he might regret pitting earlier. Hoopalicious is keeping it out there just to try to keep it clean, stay in some fresh air.
Hoop, I believe Hoop and Ginger, both guys known for their tire management around here. They're very much like they're guys who can make the rubber go a little longer than most could. Oh, and that racing point's right on the tail of Double OT. Ed now trying to get the move done down the pit straight. Let's see. Both these cars are going to be on similar tires. DRS is going to be open. That Williams will be a sitting duck. He'll just go up the inside. That should be no hassle. Mercedes on Mercedes power into turn 1. I'd say that's a move done, folks.
Hubelich is headed for the mediums, so he'll be coming out. Chandler's got the overcut.
Safety car, folks. We have a safety car. Borat's going to get another penalty there, it would seem. Not really his fault, though. Saxman was disconnecting, it seemed, and he lurched into the Red Bull, so very unfortunate for him to get that penalty. It wasn't very deserved.
This changes the game. Hoop just pinned, just got behind Chandler. But this kind of screws B-Dunk because now Hoop, Alicious, and Chandler are going to have fresh tires while B-Dunk is going to be on 10-lap old hards.
That's a very good observation. Yeah, B-Dunk's not going to be happy about this. He was hoping to kind of get this show on the road, and now he's going to probably start plummeting through the pack to those guys on the fresher tires down in P9, 10, and 11. But look at that. A great battle forming, though. Chandler and Hoop going to be right next to each other on the safety car restart.
For sure, 2 laps on those mediums isn't a whole lot, so they're basically on the same tire life right now.
This kind of does not help the medium runners out because they would need to wait at like another 7 laps to really pit. So this hurts Bones, Saxman, Cookie, Ed Trogue, all the people that start on the mediums.
For sure, it's way too early for the softs right now. You can't push in 15 laps.
Oh gosh, this always happens though. The guys at the top, they get the safety cars when they need to. It just always, I've seen that time and time again in this.
All of them into the pits. All of them into the pits except WOTs. They're probably going to go onto the hard tires.
I think they may be listening to our broadcast.
B-Dunk onto the mediums.
That's really the only choice he had.
Well, he can go to the end on those at least.
A lot of wing changes. Saxman, a lot of people changing the wing on their cars.
Maybe opting for less downforce at this stage?
No, they had to change the wing.
Do they have like repairs?
Yeah, repairs.
I misunderstood you. I thought they were just changing the front wing angle.
No. Saxman on the softs. That's an interesting call. He could make those work if he has enough flaps under the safety car.
Remember, Saxman doesn't have to fight a lot of people. He is very much comfortably P3 in the championship in both directions. He's really too far behind to catch B-Dunk, and he's far enough ahead of P4, which would be, I believe, Ginger. So he's not really concerned about playing the intra-race game. I think he just wants to get through the race and just be in the points when the time comes.
If the safety car stays out for 1, maybe 2 more laps, the lower fuel will help those softs go further, so he might be able to push it to the end.
14 laps?
Well, he has lighter fuel.
The low fuel really helps. Heavy fuel at the beginning really hurts the soft, so he might be able to push him if he can save in every corner.
Once
Now
again,
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, once again, folks, this is your order as it stands right now before the safety car restart. It's going to be Double OT, Chandler, Hoopalicious, Sparky, Ginger, Ed, Reimer, Saxman, B-Dunk, and Andre Myrie. Bringing up the rear in the non-points paying positions is Boss Cookie, Funky Cactus, Ham Newton, Borat Bones, Jay Lee, Brackish, King Kirk, Alphanesis, Jules, and bringing up the rear is the only retirement of Not Y'all F1. Groggy, I'm sorry, you were saying, my friend?
Oh, yeah. It helps the guys like Rana Jules that were so far behind now to catch back up. Helps all those guys. Safety car does everything right in terms of help the lower guys.
I have had the worst luck with safety cars this year.
I had some of the best luck at Hungary in my race. I was really lucky.
I wish I... Oh, 10-second time penalty going out there for Andre Myrie. That will certainly tank his race, and that will, timing-wise, put him at the back of the field technically right now, so he will need to start really putting in some purple sectors if he wants to maintain any semblance of a point-scoring opportunity.
That won't get removed as well from the stewards. They don't... Like, you cut the corner on the safety car is your own fault.
Indeed, it is your own fault. I mean, it's silly to me that you would just cut the corners under safety car. I could understand like mistakes happen, maybe like tires get cold and you just end up missing the brakes and you have to cut the corner, but just intentionally cutting and picking up penalties is it just seems like kind of a zero-sum game. You're not going to gain anything.
Yeah. I think under the safety car, the penalties are a bit more domino-y. With like, you get a 10-second penalty even though you're not gaining anything.
Right.
Weird.
That's a very true. Cookie there. He's almost caught back up. I think he will be able to catch back up to the pack here in just one sector's time. He's going very slow, though.
That's Jules, not Cookie.
Sorry, Jules. Kirk's going to get a second.
Yep. Come on, guys. You can do it. No penalties under the safety cards.
They're so anxious to get back to racing, they're cutting the corners already.
Speaking of, is it safety car in this lap, or it looks like that? Looks
no.
like that guy's staying out.
No, not the lap. Double Otis is a sitting duck right now.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Critical strategy here. If he pits now, he's going to be at the back, but if he pits during the race, he's going to be even further behind. So he's really got one choice, and it'd be the pit this upcoming lap.
Yeah, curious he didn't decide to just dive in right then and there. At least have that. We could have one kind of safety car lap to get the tires warm.
Problem is he hasn't stopped yet, so you can't stretch the tires. He has to pit for a set of tires.
Can you go medium soft if he goes in this next one?
Yeah, he can make it to the end.
He will
easily.
definitely have to go softs. And that's an easy stint right there at the end of the race. 12 laps on softs is doable.
Boner's pits as well. Or as Bones. He's on the soft tire.
Yep.
Well, you know what they say, speak of the devil. Looks like he's going to go for that bit of maybe not aggressive strategy, but the optimal strategy right now that you can kind of get out of these cars. Jay Lee, poor guy, just sitting there on the hards thinking to himself, what did I do to deserve this?
And every lap that passes, Saxman starts licking his chops a little bit more, because that'll help him at the end of the race. Everyone in front of him's on a harder compound, so he's the dark horse right now.
I do like Saxman to get in the mix. He is far and above one of the most consistent guys in this division. Avoids trouble, doesn't get into it with other people.
Safety car in this lap. We're going back racing with 12 laps to go.
There you have it, folks. Double OT is going to be restarting us here. Let's go on board with him. Chandler Seda and Hoopalicious somehow under safety car have managed to wriggle their way back into the podium positions. I didn't even notice that it happened. I would be shocked if Double OT didn't just go into the pits here and completely sidestep everyone.
I think he wants to lead and give Chandler Sea pain. And as we go back green, we're going to be back racing.
There we go, folks. It's Double OT slowing down to the line, just trying to get everyone off their snuff. And we're underway. Green flags, folks. Everyone's crossed the line. Ginger Horizon getting right past the Haas car there, getting caught sleeping. He's up the
Racing
inside.
Point in the wall.
Oh, we got a
accident.
racing point in the barrier. Oh, no,
Mercedes,
but up the front of the pack, the Alfa Romeo, Ginger Horizon, has slipped his way into P2. He has completely caught Chandler and Hoopalicious sleeping. But as you said, there is contact at the back of the pack. Who got involved
Big
with
accident. I don't know what happened. Like the cars that gets turned, and the Mercedes was across track, both cars. And also the King Kirk was spinning at Parabolica as well. Like one of Jules earlier.
Well, folks, there is a cautionary tale on not getting your tires warm before a restart, because then it's like you're on ice skates. And speaking of ice skates, Double OT is already a sitting duck for the pack now. Ginger Horizon pulling off maybe my favorite double overtake of the day so far. Now up to P2 on those 5-lap old mediums, and Double OT is not looking too quick, guys. I think Ginger's about to take this one. Next run through Parabolica. Double OT looking slow out of his scar. Ginger's going to be in the slipstream. Double OT sticking to the right side. I think Ginger's going to have to take this one around the outside of Parabolica. Not a fun place to be, folks. It's kind of a bit like being out on a ledge. But he's done it. He's got the move to stick. He's got the power down. Double OT not opting to pit. He is staying out, tucking in Ginger now into P1. Double OT trying to come back at him now. Ginger sticking to the right.
3 wide.
Ooh, but Ginger's having to move back to the left. Chandler now into the mix, trying to get around the outside of Ginger here. Ooh, bit of contact there. The Alpha's gotten a little out of shape, but they've all given each other the respect they deserve. Through turn 1 again, a lot of action through the midfield now. Hoopalicious falling down to P5, really being the big loser out of the restart. Saxman, on the other hand, who said Dark Horse earlier, I think that was you, McFloppy. He's up to P4, and he's looking quick.
Double OT sticking out for that long is a bit of a surprise, but he's been able to keep them behind for a little bit. He's trying to fight back. I applaud that for sure.
Perhaps that effort will be in vain now, as Hoopalicious is back in the mix, and on those fresher tires, he will sail past the Williams. No problem. Double OT looking more like a mobile chicane than anything else, really. The true Williams final form, unfortunately, as of late. But it's Chandler and it's Ginger. They're going to be the ones fighting for the lead of this race.
Arizona Hamilton right into the gravel, right going on into the gravel, please. All right.
Good for him to avoid damage. Double OT slow into Parabolica as Boss Cookie is trying to fight his way through the field now.
Oh, V-Dunk spun in the Parabolica. He's house spun. He's in the wall. He's already had a 3-second time penalty earlier to stop. This is not good for V-Dunk.
I hate to interrupt you, Groggy, but we're going 3 wide now. Hoopalicious, Double OT, and Boss Cookie into turn 1. Let's see. They've all given each other lots of respect, but that's Boss Cookie now up into P3. Double OT staying in P4. Reimer in P5. Being hunted now by Hoopalicious, trying to go up the inside through the Curva Grande. Ooh, he's getting squeezed up against the grass there, but he's gotten through nice and tidy. Double OT still looking slow as a snail. Into the first chicane now, braking. Ooh, and he's going to just have a peek. He's going to miss the chicane. Hoop's going to have to run shallow there. No time penalty, though, as he hasn't gained any advantage. In fact, he's lost out to Borat now. Borat getting back in the mix, trying to go up the inside of Double OT. Nothing going there. We got yellow flags. That looks to be
Reimer's dangerous. He got damaged. The Haas and the Alfa Romeo went super deep into the second chicane. The Alfa Romeo got damage from it.
Very unfortunate. Borat now getting in front of Boss Cookie. Chandler Seda now within 8/10 of Ginger Horizon, who's just trying to scupper away into the, or scamper rather, into the distance. Saxman, wheel to wheel with Double OT through the Parabolica. Double OT getting past again and again and again. He has got to pit, folks. And yes, there he is. He's gotten the hint. After being overtaken 7 times, he is into the pits. Good for him. Smart move by Double OT to get off the track and get out of the way of the cars on the fresher tires. Boss Cookie, though, and Borat fighting here through turns 1 and 2. Chandler Seda got the gap down 2/6 at the front here through the Curva Grande now. Let's see. The Red Bull's going to have a look up the inside. Ooh! Boss Cookie going very defensive.
Miss Rammers retired
around.
in the pits.
Very unfortunate for the Alpha. Wow, Boss Cookie and Borat tried to go wheel to wheel through there. You had to know that the Red Bull was going to come off worse, and he's backed out of the move. Hoop, though, will be sizing him up. Ed Torona's going to set new fastest lap, 122.033. Gotta say, fellas, Monza always delivers.
It's cleaner as well, like the PC D1. It's really, no offense, D1 PC.
Hey, I take offense to that. You know?
It was not fun for the stewards today, dealing with that.
Sloppy's over here like, best watch yourself. You come step into the D1 throne. But Ginger and Chandler now wheel to wheel down the pit straight. Let's see, folks. I've lost my controller. Oh my God, I binned the stream, folks. I apologize. No available controllers. I beg to differ. Sorry about that one, folks. But Chandler's come out on top. Talk about cutting away at a very crucial moment. But Ginger has relinquished P1. I really got to find the backing for this controller so that doesn't happen again. Hoop, though, sitting back here just trying to catch up. Funky Cactus into the mix now up here in P8. And the back runners, Double OT, Ed, Sparky, and King Kirk, sitting on the soft tires.
Ginger Horizon would have spent a lot of his ERS trying to keep the gap to Chandler, and now that that gap is reversed, he's going to have a little bit of trouble trying to catch back up.
Such is the nature of these hybrid cars. Ginger's rocking about a 45%, 50% charge on that battery pack. Meanwhile, Chandler's got about 70% to spare in the Renault.
Ginger Horizon 3-second time penalty. That's huge.
Ooh, very unfortunate. These guys, though, this is D1. They do like to settle it on track, so I do not expect anything less out of anybody, despite penalties or otherwise. The other close intervals we're watching is Saxman trying to catch Boss Cookie. Alphanese is getting past Jay Lee.
Saxman passed Hoobalicious on that lap. Looking to catch back up the Boss Cookie, and Borat, you mentioned, had a lot of penalties, so podium's still in shape for him.
Very much so. Chandler, Ginger running very close through turns 1 and 2. Definitely a great battle at the front, folks. He's tucked in the slipstream now through the Curva Grande. Chandler sticking to the right side, going back to the left, going back to the right. Ginger not really knowing where to put his car. He'll just have to tuck back in and stay behind through the Lesmos now. Chandler getting a good run through there. Same with Ginger. Ginger going to have a look again, just teasing the Renault, just kind of poking that front wing in the rearview mirror, trying to put any pressure he can on Chandler.
Mercedes around. And BRO Sparky around in a Scarry, but there was another Mercedes. Gio Brown's around in the chicane.
Very unfortunate for the Mercedes driver. We're coming up to Ascari right now with the front of the pack. Chandler and Ginger sliding through there. Chandler getting a much better run. And Funky Cactus will get a time penalty.
Now is where Ginger Horizon has to start thinking about the end goal of the race. Does he want to try to overtake him? And if he wants to, he's going to probably have to sit in the slipstream for 6 more laps and overtake him at the last possible moment.
That would be pretty on brand for D1. These guys like the last lap drama.
There's a lot of strategy that goes into the last lap overtakes because you don't want to give him any chance to take you back.
But you don't want to wreck someone else.
So if you're Ginger, you're thinking you got to do it before. You have to pretty much do it after Ascari because you'll have that next straight where Chandler will be able to catch back up before the Parabolica.
I'm keeping it within 1 second for the remaining of the rest of the race. Charging ERS, applying a little bit of pressure in the chicanes, but really planning an overtaking attempt on the very last lap.
Yellow flag, sector 2.
Yeah, it's a Mercedes.
Toto Wolff's not going to be happy with them today.
Yeah, there's a lot of broken tables in the paddock.
He is pounding his desk very hard right now.
He'd make a great Buffalo Bills fan because he's got no respect for tables.
From a Bills fan myself, I agree.
Excellent. Glad to hear we're all of the initiated for the Bills Mafia. Cookie and Saxman, though, getting nice and close here. Saxman starting to close that gap now on the McLaren. Saxman's got to be thinking those softs are going to start to fall off in about maybe 6 or 7 laps. Time, but late on the brakes, almost into the back of the McLaren. He is gearbox to front wing. Boss Cookie going to take a left sideline through there, back to the right. Saxman back in the slipstream. Now he will have the DRS here. Let's see, folks. Cookie's going to stay to the right. Saxman pulling out to the left now. Let's see, into the braking zone. Ooh, Boss Cookie just drifting back
He
to the
locks
left.
up.
Speaking of close battles, Ginger still tucked in nice and easy behind the Renault. Not quite applying that pressure. 4 laps to go in this Italian Grand Prix, folks. Buonasera, buongiorno, or buon notte, I believe, is how you say goodnight. Wherever you are in the world, PPR Racing, Xbox Division 1.
Pupilicious got around Saxman in the chicane. He's up to 5th.
Saxman gonna be kicking himself for letting that happen.
We have less than 5 laps to go. Who will win this race? It's gonna come down to the wire.
Well, speaking of dark horse candidates, Borat Bones back into the mix despite his litany of penalties. Oh, my Amazon package is here. Good to know. Ginger back in the slipstream, DRS open, Chandler pulling to the left, back to the right. Let's see if he's going to go for the move here. 3 laps to go. He's going to pull to the left. No, he's not. He's just going to hit the brakes and tuck right back in. Sloppy, I got to say, I think you've already kind of given the playbook out for how Ginger wants to play his card, his only trump card, really.
Yeah, for sure. If he overtakes him, say now, this lap, for instance, that gives Chandler 3 laps to then plan his counterattack, which puts Ginger at a huge disadvantage because he's already spent the ERS to get past him. So he's really just wanting to bide his time, pressure Chandler, see if he can get him to cut a corner maybe, get a penalty. That's all he can really hope for at this point.
Maybe we'll see some black and white flags come out in a bit.
I think Ginger's gonna make the move in the second DRS zone because I don't think you'll have enough time, enough distance to get it done in that final straight going to Mirabel.
Problem
Not
is, coming
Mirabel.
off of the 2 Lesmos, you get a little bit of oversteer from the car in front, so it's tough to, overtake into Ascaris. It's a really fast corner.
God.
Parabolic is going to have to be his best shot.
You have to be really brave to overtake the Ruscari.
Yeah. Brave is what it takes to win, though, so we're going to see what he does.
Brave
Borat's
is
coming
indeed
back
what it
through,
takes
though.
to win. Chandler getting very defensive there, pulling to the right, pulling to the left. No surprise. He is trying to break that toe anyway, but Ginger has done well to stay right within that DRS, and he's closing right back up, as is Borat. Borat just staying tucked in, knowing he's got plenty of time to plan his overtake as he goes almost into the gearbox there of Ginger Horizon. Looking down the rest of the field, though, Saxman, Boss Cookie, Hoopalicious forming a nice little threesome here in the closing stages of this race. Andre Myrie getting past Funky Cactus into turn 1.
Beat catching up to Andre Marie.
I'm impressed with Funky Cactus. He's a D, is he a D2 driver usually, or?
Funky?
Yeah.
Funky's in our division, bro.
Well, does he race in D2 as well? Because he's put an incredible performance come from D4, being at 9th place. That's
There's
impressive.
no one there.
Let's see. Still, Chandler Sita, Ginger, and Boris Bones are less than a second apart. Going on to the main straight for the second to last time. Let's see what happens. 2 laps to go. Here at Monza.
You'll have to excuse me, folks. We had some phantom doorbells going off. Turns out there was no Amazon package. But Ginger now, it's lap 26. He's got the run now on the Renault. Wheel to wheel into turn 1. I think he's going to do the move here. Yes. He has gotten in front.
And Chandler Sita's getting mugged by Boris Bones. He's going for the move.
Yeah, Borat definitely going to make things very fascinating because he's not racing for the win, technically. He's only racing for pride, but that's just enough, really, to kind of end anyone's well-laid plans, like, say, one Renault driver trying to defend a win, because now Chandler's sliding behind the Red Bull. Almost damn near there. Ginger smiling to himself that he had the extra help from the Red Bull there to kind of put the pressure on. Oh, but that Borat spun, and he's out of this race, and he is retired in the middle of the track. So that may bring out a late safety car, folks.
No, safety car won't come out with 2 laps to go. There's not enough time. That sucks for him. He was running so well tonight.
More
I feel
importantly,
bad.
that's taken all the pressure off Chandler now to chase down Ginger, and we've still got a whole lap of Monza left. Ginger will be defending for his life, folks. On board now with Chandler Seda. This is the battle to watch. We'll be on board with them for the rest of the race. I apologize, folks, there hasn't been much midfield coverage today, but when you get a battle for first, it does pay well to keep an eye on it. Ginger there, staying to the right. The Renault back up the inside.
White flag. This is it. Who will win?
But if you look very closely at Ginger, he doesn't have much battery left. There may not be many chances left to go now.
Chandler's sitting there licking his chops with a decent amount of battery with the DRS.
Indeed, but now through the Curva Grande up the inside as the Alpha got the move done. Yes, that is an aggressive overtake by Ginger Horizon. He's back up into P1, getting the elbows out. Chandler Seda's got to feel like someone pulled a knife on him in an alleyway. Because that Alfa Romeo is sailing away.
Chandler has more battery than him. Ginger has less, so I think Chandler is still in the catbird seat, coming with only 5 corners to go.
All right, into Ascari now. Ginger staying just in front. Chandler's closing up. The gap is 4/10 now through Ascari. Everyone looking nice and easy through there. Chandler still tucked into the slipstream now. Let's see, folks. Is there enough real estate left at this Monza circuit for the Renault to catch up into the Parabolica? Let's see. Just behind gaps 3/10. It is so close, folks. I don't think he's going to do it, though. Ginger Horizon heading towards the finish. That Renault's going to have a bit of a run here at the end, but it's not enough. Congratulations to Chandler Seda on getting the win on penalties, but Ginger did take it on track. Hoopalicious will come home P3. Ham Newton.
And spins out.
Yeah, and spins out. Ham Newton P4, but Saxman will be promoted to P4 due to penalties. So congratulations to the Toro Rosso driver for another excellent drive. Sparky retired on the last lap. Race control, Brackish getting a 5-second time penalty late. Unserved penalty. B-Dunk coming up to P6, so great recovery race by the Williams driver. Boss Cookie, Alphanesis, and Brackish round out your points paying positions. Behind them, Andre Myrie, Jay Lee, Double OT, Ed, Run the Jewels, and at the back in the Ferrari is King Kirk. He will be hopefully getting to the end here very soon. But congratulations to our podium drivers yet again. Chandler taking his 5th win on the trot for Renault. Ginger putting up a stellar performance, though, to give him a run for his money, even with the 3-second penalty. That will lurch Renault farther and farther ahead in the standings here with only not really a handful of races, but the last stanza of this season.
1/3 to go.
Groggy,
7 races to go.
Who is your driver of the day, Groggy?
I think my driver of the day, I'm going to give it, I need to look at the results, but I think it's either going to be B-Dunk, Funky Cactus, or Saxman. Saxman did a great job on his tires. Imagine those.
It certainly did. How about you, Sloppy? Who's your driver of the day?
I think it's got to be Ginger Horizon. He had one incredibly decisive move on the safety car restart where Double OT backed the field up. If he had the guts to try to make an overtake in the turn 1, that incredible double overtake. And then he won on track with another great overtake, so we saw a lot of great action from him and a pretty decisive on-track victory. Shame penalties took that away.
Well, there you have it, folks. That's the word on the street from up here in the commentary box. I'm Best Teon with Groggy Oregano and Sloppy McFloppy. Thank you again for joining us for another great edition of Pole Position Racing Xbox Division 1. Your finishing order one more time. Here you go, Kirk. Chandler Seda, Ginger Horizon, Hoopalicious, Saxman, Ham Newton, B-Dunk, Funky Cactus, Boss Cookie, Alphanesis, Brackish, non-points paying positions, Andre Myrie, Jay Lee, Double OT, Run the Jewels, Ed, King Kirk, Borat, Sparky, Reimer, and bringing up the rear, our only non-finisher, Not Y'all. Thank you again from all of us here at PPR. I am your host, Best Teon, thank you for joining us yet again, and we will look forward to seeing you all back next week. And as always, stay classy.